Hello and welcome back to Sailing Vessel MIG. Today I am going to talk to you a little bit about Starlink and the Starlink system that I have hooked up on MIG. So the problem with Starlink is that in order to have ocean use, you have to either have mobile priority or a regional priority ability. That's one of the levels that you buy monthly from Starlink, and then you have to toggle on ocean use, which is, well, you toggle on priority data, which gives you high-speed ocean data at $2 a gigabyte. Now you can also get 50 gigabytes of ocean priority data per month with the other mobile priority global. Anyway, that one's $250 a month, and you get 50 gigabytes, but you have to use it first, so you can't toggle it on and off. So what you end up doing is using it, in the marina or anchored out, and then you go offshore, and you still have it just automatically costs you $2 a gigabyte beyond your 50 gigabytes. So I wanted the ability to toggle it on and off, so I have global mobile priority plan, which is $200 a month for my Starlink, and basically it gives me unlimited data everywhere except for when I'm offshore. When I'm offshore, I toggle it on, and it costs me $2 a gigabyte. So basically that means I'm not going to be using Starlink offshore to watch Netflix, but I can easily download my weather and talk to my wife on the internet, even FaceTime her for short amounts of time, and it's high-speed internet, so I can upload any important information that I need while I'm offshore easily for $2 a gigabyte. It's unbelievable, actually. So that's what I have. Now, what they say is you're also supposed to, if you're in motion, you're supposed to have their high-speed in-motion dish. And it is faster. It's a better dish for ocean. It's made for the ocean. It's actually the one that they use on the drone ships for the Falcon 9 landings. That's what they have for their antennas. So that's the best one. However, I only have the Roam dish, the standard Roam dish, and it works. There's a trick. It works in motion under 20 miles per hour, I think is what they said. Definitely under 10 miles per hour, which MIG will never go that fast. So we're basically stationary when we're offshore as far as Starlink is concerned. Now, the key is the dish has motors that basically what they do, all they do is find the best spot in the sky because it's made for stationary, remember? So it finds the best spot in the sky, and then it finds those satellites, and it connects to those. The problem is if you're moving slowly, you slowly move out of that area, and the dish is not made to continually change and find the satellites. That's what the in-motion dish does. So what you have to do is disable the motor, completely disable the motor, and then it's flat, and it just uses the satellites that it sees above it, which is a much larger area of the sky, actually, than when it's pointed like north, like it is right now before I hook all this up. So what you have to do is you disable the motors and you mount it flat, and then it works great in motion under 20 miles per hour. Or I've heard it even works at higher speeds, but I think they're going to make it so it won't. But I don't know that. Anyway, so I went with Star Mount Systems. You can look them up on the internet. Really great company. However, their instructions, if you can send it to them and they'll do the whole thing and send it back to you. But if you're me, You know, I've done everything else on this boat, so I figured I can cut up a brand new Starlink dish. And so that's what I'm doing. Today I'm cutting up a Starlink dish, and hopefully I won't wreck it and have to buy another one or whatever, but here we go.
I am a little bit stressed. We have measured it with the Sharpie because that's the only thing we could figure. It had just pictures. So we're hoping we got it in the right spot. And now I'm going to take the Dremel, which the other problem that we ran into in hooking up this Dremel was, in order to get this measurement right, you have to know where to put the bit. So we just put it all the way in. So it should be, I mean, if anything, it's not going to go all the way through. So here we go. I'm stressed. I don't know.
Chicken.
You make a good point. Worst case scenario, we got to buy a new dish and do it again. Buy a new dish and send it to him to do. Right? Okay. All right. Now I think it should work now. Do these plugs just like that. Now this should just break off back there. Just like that. Oh. So you got the kids with their blowing off their DSs. Okay. Now we take a screwdriver and remove this. Just get it right in here. And you just pry this out. Very destructive. That's garbage. And here, you need this. But you don't need the motors.
Oh.
Look at that. Okay. Okay, there it is.
Wow.
There it is. And this is all garbage.
Garbage.
This is a little stressful. Just saying.
That's a technical blow right there.
Yeah, he said don't use, if you're thinking of doing this, he said don't use an air compressor.
That blows
It
too
can
hard.
ruin the thing. Now he cuts, remember he goes around this, like this. He did the same thing over here, remember?
Yeah, and then he broke them off. Or cut them.
See, I don't want to get in there with the knife because I'm afraid of
Right.
cutting the wire like that.
Did you just cut it?
No.
Oh. I'm afraid you're going to cut yourself.
I'm not worried about myself. Gosh dang.
Delicate and patience. It did say have patience on the instructions.
Did it?
Yeah, it said work slow and have patience.
Oh, well, wrong guy for that, right? Okay. We got one side off. Oops.
Ow.
Did I just cut my wire after all that? Okay, now this part is the most technical.
This is the fun part.
You have to remove this magnet.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It flew all over the place.
No, there's gonna be little pieces all over in there.
Yep.
So now we're ready to put it in here. And I have the quick release mount, which will be attached to the companionway of MiG. And that way I can quickly release the Starlink dish and take it off if I'm leaving the boat for a length of time somewhere and I don't want to leave it out. I mean, pretty much all the time it will be mounted. See that? So this will be mounted to the companionway on MiG and screwed down. And then the dish will be put on it. So I don't need that right now. So now we take this and you go through here with that. Right through there.
I'm gonna find it. There you go.
That. Okay. And then we, okay.
So I wonder why it snakes like that.
Because the dish, when it's over it, the wire has to be out of the way of all the stuff. Oops. It's pretty cool. Now we got to trim these off with our little flush cut cutters that are made just for cutting this pull ties. And by the way, I would like to thank my friend John for these. He brought me these because he was concerned that I might cut myself badly offshore on my poorly cut pull ties that I had all over the boat. So I would like to mention, not a sponsor, they say to use this, and specifically this, the Gorilla Clear Grip glue, because it's contact adhesive. And what we're doing here is we are going to waterproof this right here. So you basically just glob it over.
And then down to the end of the plug, right?
Yep. Well, it's also gluing it into the spot there.
Oh my gosh.
I believe we have to,
Let that dry now.
yeah, so we're done until this dries, which may be later tonight.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while to dry.
Okay, now we let that sit.
All right.
So, I believe that it is pretty much ready. Okay, so we plug this in here. Pretty slick.
So Star Mount Systems makes this little contraption, and they have tested these in thousands of them now in high speed, off road, and stuff like that.
Last one. So when I tightened these up, I did this corner, that corner, this corner, that corner, then alternated back and forth like you would lugs on a wheel. So, and you can tell if the O-ring is flattened by it, if it's working. So there it is. This is the final project, and this will mount. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll show you guys. This is going to be mounted to companionway, and then this slides in like that. It's supposed to anyway. Oh, I see. It goes under here like that. Yeah, and then bolts in like this right here with these two. So that way you can remove it if you need to pretty easily. With these two, all you need to do is undo these two, and then it'll you can detach it from the mount that will be permanently on the boat. So there it is. Looks slick, huh? What do you think?
Good job.
Yeah, I like it. Thanks for your help, Beck.
Yep. Until next time.
Okay. Okay, this is where I'm going to put this. I'm going to use some bronze nuts as spacers and screw it right down into there. I think I'll move it over as far to that side as I can. Maybe like that. Yeah, because that keeps it off of the middle. So I think that'll work pretty good right there. And then I got some loom for the cord. All right, let's do it. Okay, here we go. So this is how I mounted this. Should be good to go. I moved it to the side, so when the boom is centered, hopefully it'll still connect there. So it's all wired up, hardwired in. I can disconnect it still if I have to. It's got some Gorilla Glue, some of that same Gorilla Glue around the plug. And I did order a spare plug because apparently that's what goes out on these things. The weakest link in this Starlink is the plug. So, yeah. So I ordered a new plug, 70 bucks. All right, let's go see if it works. Got all my crap out in the cockpit. All right, so we turn on the inverter and main cabin outlets. My Starlink is right here. This is my Starlink router. I've got it it's wedged in there pretty good, but I put in some foam just to kind of hold it steady in here.
So it worked perfectly. Worked actually better than it did before. And I hope you stay tuned next week for an update on when we're launching and all of that info. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't checked out my Patreon page yet, please do. And thanks to all of you who've signed up.